Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Suzerain. This is episode number 11 in our Let's Play series of this Choose Your Own Adventure role-playing strategy game. We are a fictional president in a fictional country in a fictional Cold War. So it's all make-believe, but it's quite fun and it has some pretty awesome atmosphere and storytelling within this game. Suzerain recently released a 2.0 patch, probably a couple weeks ago now, and we have been playing it quite a bit on my Twitch channel, so you can follow me over on Twitch if you want to join those live streams, if it isn't already over by the time that you've joined or watched this video. But yeah, that's where we're picking up off this live stream. We just went to a religious festival, which has been like co-opted so that it's not very religious, but it is still nominally a religious festival, and the individual there was giving an opening speech that was basically berating women and non-religious people for not being more conservative, and our wife was like, this is bullshit, because she wanted to give a speech there about women's rights. We said no, but then the politician that we picked over her was kind of being an asshole, and so then we stood up for her when he berated her. So we'll see how that all plays out on the home front. We're returning home after that speech, and we'll see how things turn out. But without further ado, let's jump back in. Downtime at the home. It felt like eternity since the Benfey festival. Had it really only been 24 hours? I was now home drinking in the afternoon coffee on my balcony. A stack of newspapers lay by my side. I picked them up, one by one, reading and rereading the articles about the festival. Some of the newspapers were merciless against Monica for interrupting Curtin during his speech. A few even called for her to be barred from political matters. Others expressed their support. In any event, I was relieved that the incident hadn't reflected too badly on me. I was putting the last newspaper down as Monica joined me on the balcony. Can we talk for a bit? Of course. What is it? Monica sat and picked up the nearest newspaper. She pointed to a particularly insulting headline on the front page. I never in a million years would have wished for this, Anton. I just wanted to thank you for supporting me and apologize for creating such a spectacle. All I wanted was to bring the people of Sordland together, the way you're able to, but not like this. Her eyes were getting moist. A single tear fell onto her newsprint. If you're going to succeed in this, you have to be stronger. I know you can be. Wipe her tears away. Oh, Anton. Perhaps the festival wasn't the proper forum to air my views on women's rights, but I need to do this, Anton. I want to officially adopt this cause as First Lady, to actually get involved in politics, not just an impromptu speech. I could even help you on help your education minister with those reforms she's working on. I know this isn't an urgent issue for you, but it's vital to me. Leave politics to the politicians. Sure, go ahead. Is this the jerk playthrough? It's kind of a mixture, Plumber. I've become more pragmatic as we've gone further into this. But I have proposed a constitution where I can no longer be impeached, so there's that. Yeah! Now what? What's next? Budget allocation of Sordish armed forces. Negative presidential approval rating. Uh-oh. 25%? But the economy's ticking up. Preparations began in Elroyd to expand the hangars and restructure the security at the airbase. Okay. Ministry of Statistics, along with the Ministry of the Economy and Central Bank, delivered a preliminary economic status report detailing the recession is ongoing and the system isn't likely to reach stability soon if we don't take serious steps. I mean, it doesn't look negative to me. I'm looking at the growth chart. Peter, Vulcan, and Yosef were seated. General Vulcan, Mr. Lancia, let's start with the briefing. Very well, Mr. Vice President. We have prepared a briefing to convey further details about the current situation of our military. First off, we've received an updated communication from the Arcasian Military Command. Their planes are being moved into Elroy Air Base as we speak, under our supervision, of course. It's only a visiting thing. They're not being based there. Good. Keep an eye on them. What's the situation of our army? According to the latest report from Camp Strongarm, currently we field 6 armies totaling approximately 400,000 troops, which is a good amount. The real issue is we're having this with quality, not quantity. What's their equipment status? Our army is quite outdated by today's military standards. Most of our equipment is 2 decades old. To make up for our lack of modern military equipment, we resort to a large number of soldiers, which is not really a long-term solution. I've been trying hard to reform or reduce the negative effects of this problem. We don't need modernization program, a standardization or standardized purchasing of lacking equipment we do. We need more funding toward expanding the military size, otherwise our army will be seen as weak. Where's our army deployed right now? First army is stationed at the Lespasia and Valen borders. Second army is along the border with Rumburg. Second army is a large mountain commando force and is the most adequately equipped. Third army is near the Angolian border and the coastal areas facing Vagsland. Okay. How do we compare to other armies? Rumburg fields about 6 armies, totaling about 1 million soldiers. Lespasia fields 5 armies, about 800,000. Vagsland fields 1 army of about 140,000. Valen field an army about 100,000, and Angolia fields 2 armies with 200,000. Okay. What about our Navy? Navy has 59 vessels, 60,000 sailors. The ships are commanded from our main naval base in Conradt, where our flagship is docked. How's our Navy compared to others? Our Navy is dwarfed in size by the Vagslandian Navy, which has 194 ships, and the Agnolian Navy has 81 ships. Okay. We only surpassed Lespasia in terms of our Navy since they have less than 30. I don't really care about the Navy. What about the Air Force? Air Force has 410 planes, only 140 are jets. What are our operational capabilities? Within 400 kilometers of the airfield, they have medium-range, semi-effective nighttime bombing capabilities. Anytime we can field 7 air wings composing of 130 aircraft. In terms of our bombing capability, we have an average of 100 meters of precision. It's not great, but it's still effective. How experienced are our pilots? Average experience, total of 450 flight hours. This is low compared to 1,000 to 1,500 in other countries. How does our Air Force work with our other branches? Let's move on. What are the suggestions? Increase the military budget leaves us with big questions about how to utilize it. There's a lot of debate at the ministry, which resulted in two factions of thought. First faction is in favor of enlarging the armed forces by enlisting more men, with the second faction in favor of purchasing better military equipment instead. What's the argument about better equipment? The armed forces are behind in terms of military equipment in comparison to our neighbors. We need a fundamental modernization program. No matter how many advanced weapons and systems we buy, our enemies can overcome them. Okay. What's the argument for increasing the size? Some of our neighbors have larger populations and thus larger armed forces. Using funds to boost our size would minimize that advantage. Yeah, I feel like better equipment is where it's at. If they're 3 times their size, I think equipment is key. All right, so what's major military overhaul? We already did the space satellite. Cool. So foreign countries are interested in Gassam. Damn it, I invested in their crops and now they're stagnating. Okay, so the reform is moving slowly. Protested against Governor Braun's security policies. Death of former Black Battalion Brigadier General. Regional growth stagnates and dire. Everybody's freaking stagnating. H3 highway nearest completion. The highway running from Lockhaven to Avery is mostly complete, with final preparations being made for the opening. Underhill construction guarantees a timely delivery of all contractual obligations. With Avery about to be connected to the country's biggest port in Lockhaven via a large modern highway, people in the region are expected to have better access to jobs, welfare, and other services. The H3 will also improve trade links with Agnolia. Cool. PMC's legitimate? Private military? Contractors? Companies? Trade talks. Yeah, let's do trade. We're gonna go visit another country, boys. Sordland 1's flight from Holsord to Stalport took 3 hours, but went very smoothly. David left his seat and came over while Simon was enjoying his newspaper. Looks like we're about to land, Mr. President. So many conflicts over such a small piece of land. The island can barely sustain itself without outside help. I don't blame them. It's a very strategic position. Certainly. If you have Helgeland, you're in control of the whole Valgos channel. I suspect it'll be one of the topics Mr. Van Horten will bring up as a bargaining chip. We must be careful. Helgeland must be under the control of Agnolia, but the international community is yet to recognize it. For good reason, too. Nobody wants to make an enemy of Vagsland, especially because of the support of the United Cantana. I wouldn't want to do anything to injure our relationship with Vagsland. Aside from the port of Helgeland, we need to be careful with the additional requests. According to the deal that was negotiated so far, they want to sell us their steel for a higher price, and they are requesting easier access to our agricultural markets. In return, they're promising cash flow and investments, especially in the Agland region. Let's see if we can shake hands on it. A couple minutes later, we touched down, the plane parked, and I took a final look out the window. The welcoming ceremony from Agnolia was awaiting, along with a red carpet. After the guards made their way out, I exited the plane. Wave at the crowd. There were many camera flashes. I started to make my way downstairs. Prime Minister Van Hoorten was nowhere in sight. Instead, I was greeted by the foreign minister. After handshakes and a couple of photos, I moved to the car where Serge was waiting to drive me to the office of the Prime Minister. Good day, sir. I hope the flight was comfortable. Yes, it was. Thank you, Serge. I got in the car when we made our way to the through the foreign streets. Our convoy was protected by Sordish and Angolian guards and their vehicles. We got on the highway beside the port and saw dozens of dockyards and ships anchored. Some of the boats and machinery look old. The city itself looked very gray and grim. The building had a touch of Rumburg's famous monarchian architecture, with a mixture of Sordish signature domes on older ones. We were now on the main road to the office of the Prime Minister. Looks like they're not too happy to see you, sir. What deaths do we have again? There have been many issues in Sordland. I don't know that I'd call myself a great leader. We've arrived, sir. Mr. President, welcome to Agnolia and to the beautiful city of Stalpart. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's wonderful to be here. He reached out for a handshake. The press surrounding us had been waiting for this moment. Shake hands and hug after. We shook hands and I went for a hug, which was received well by the Prime Minister. The press went wild and took more pictures. He gestured to the entrance of 200-year-old Parliament building. This way, please. We entered the press, followed us inside. My goal is to cement an alliance with them. That should increase the size of our military considerably and help against Rumburg, I would think. An assistant showed up immediately with large glass in her hands. This here is one of the first treaties written between Sordland and Agnolia, just like the one you prepared with Mr. Whiskey before my term. May the mark of the renewal of our friendship today as well. This is an amazing gift, thank you. Photos were taken again. I gestured at one of my retainers who was holding our gift to the PM. Gift one of the original copies of the first Constitution of Sordland. Gift a Sordish bread puppy, despite Martin's known fear of dogs. Gift an ornamental ceremonial sword made with Sordish steel. So they want to sell their steel to us, so I'm going to guess that would be a bad idea. So probably number one. An excellent copy. I've always wondered what one of the originals looked like. Thank you for this excellent gift. Let's go to my office. Follow me. I followed him and we entered the office of the Prime Minister. With its minimalistic wooden decor, the room was far more modest than I expected. We sat down and leaned back and he made himself comfortable. Sheesh, I'm thankful to be done with the ceremonies. It's one of the tougher parts of our job. He got up from his chair and moved to the bar. There were many varieties of liquor. Would you like a drink, Mr. Rayne? Wouldn't mind some Agnolian vodka. Ah, you know your drink. Just dishing sugar over here. Giving the Constitution, I know it's the right choice. Picking the right drink of the local place. Going for hugs. We're winning! He poured the drinks and gave mine to me before sitting down again. A true gentleman. I can respect that about you, Mr. Horton. This is how we do things in Agnolia, Mr. Rayne. I appreciate the kind words, but flattery alone won't sway me this day. First of all, I would like to say that I've been watching your recent immigration policy changes, and I'm glad that you've decided to keep it relaxed. Immigrants are very important for the beneficial economic development. We believe that very much in Agnolia. It's reassuring to see Sordland move in a more modern direction. Thank you. So tell me, Mr. Rayne, is Sordland a reliable trading partner to Agnolia? Not if you keep acting like you have the upper hand. As long as Agnolia is a reliable trading partner. I can assure you that we are. It was a good move to start building that highway. Overall, this will positively affect our trade. Well done, Mr. Rayne. Thank you. You're very kind. So what's it going to be? First of all, if we shake hands on it, this agreement is going to be extremely beneficial for both of us. You should be able to solve your recession in no time with the investment and money flow coming from us. This is, as you know, one of the top of the reduced tariffs for trade between our countries. Of course, in return, as we discussed between my people and your people before, you will allow us privileged access to your agricultural markets. You'll be buying steel from us at a higher price, which is a small price to pay, really. That's the deal. What do you say? Sure, I accept. Excellent. Before we dive into the paperwork for the trade deal, I want to offer you another possibility. I would like to expand on our new partnership. We have a regional force like Rumburg that have been imposing the danger on both of our countries. I'm of the mind that we must unite. So, by the power bestowed upon me as Prime Minister of Agnolia, I'm offering a military alliance between Sordland and Agnolia. What do you think? Yes. 200,000 more soldiers. That increases our military, what, by like 50%? Excellent to hear. Our ministers will go over the details later. Now that we've gone this far, are we willing to enter an alliance? There's another topic I'd like to bring up. As you know, Hegland has been long contested between Agnolia and Vagsland. Those warmongers want to take back the island. You know how the international community does not like recognizing our rightful claim on the island. What better way to cement our alliance than announcing the world that Sordland recognizes Hegland to be Agnolian territory? In this case, sir, I think you're asking too much. It's a reasonable request, but I won't push too far in the matter. We have achieved enough for today. We must continue the official program. As you know, we pay a visit to our founder's grave for another ceremony. Afterwards, we'll move on to the state dinner. After you. Okay, so we've got an alliance now. Hell yeah. Hopefully that helps the economy. Now we've got to have trade talks with Valen next. Okay. What do the news articles say about our new alliance? Okay. All right, so we arrested one of the journalists from the Radical. Okay. Recovered trade volume. Yay, that's good, right? Trade with Agnolia. Trade initiative. Agnolia, priority in agriculture market, and higher price steel from Agnolia. Those aren't good things, but joint military exercises. Modernization program. And adequately equipped military. So I think actually in retrospect, I think the fact that we went with the equipment is a good thing because we got an increase in manpower by allying with Agnolia. So not only are there more men, but they're better equipped. I suppose if we had gone full manpower, then maybe we'd be closer to like equality with Rumburg, but I imagine that probably wouldn't be. I mean, I guess we don't know. We don't know if it would be beneficial with them or not. But okay, I guess we're gonna go see the leader of Valen. I think he's a dictator, right? Yep. Soldiers lined up on either side of the red carpet. Victor Smolik is waiting for me, wearing military sunglasses. He's driving the Jeep himself. We're saluting just to be polite. Now we're going downtown to see some statue that's being unveiled. Why is the city this empty? He had to close the city down so there's no protesters or anything like that. People are being told to wave flags of both of ours. Like, this is very much a dictator. Victor and murderer! And then that guy's dragged off. What's the statue of? Oh, it's of him? Very lifelike. Two strudels, okay. I'll pay the street vendor. He was totally not going to pay him, but then when it looked like I was going to go pay him, then he does it for the cameras. Okay. So we're now in their ornamental palace. And let's talk about the trade deal. Finally. Okay. I'll partake in smoking. Yeah. It's got a little bubbling of smoke. Sure, you can call me Anton. What do you think of Rumburg? They're a threat to the region. Their time will come. Are you planning something? Well, not yet. First, I need to solve problems they're creating for me. What is it? Look, Bluids and their so-called BFF are causing problems for me in this region. They're getting increasingly dangerous with Rumburg's active support. I know they're a problem for you as well. I'll not set and allow these traitors to exist within my border, so I'll hit them with all the might of Valen. These terrorists need to be destroyed. I'll cut all their mountain supplies from Rumburg and trap them in the mountains. I call it Operation Bear Trap. What do you want from me? Here's the deal. I'll give you objectively the best trade deal in the region. You'll give me your assistance crushing the terrorists of both our borders. I need specifics. My spies have infiltrated BFF cells and they found caches of K-74s. Traced to Rumburg. Worst of all, we also found similar shipments are going to Sordland. However, the main problem is that the border security between our nations have been using the mountains between Sordland and Valen to escape the justice in both of our countries. I propose you a no-tariff trade agreement, co-investment projects, and oil. In return, you will assist me in destroying the armed militants in my country. There might be international ramifications. Okay. What do you want from me? When the operation starts, with you or without you, there will be stragglers trying to cross into Sordland. We just want you to support the operation even if you don't join. Stop the terrorists from fleeing into your country and you'll have a deal. Deal. Give me all that economic stuff. So we signed another trade deal. This one a very good one for us, although perhaps unwisely. We're basically agreeing to screw over the Bloods, who are a minority group in our country too. But the Bloods have been a problem for me. There've been a lot of terrorist stuff going on with them, so anything to help the economy, right? So we got 2 successful trade agreements and a military alliance. Tariff-free oil. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps our economy. I guess that's a case of me being bad, right? For certain. We definitely just sold our soul to the devil, the neighboring dictator oppressing the ethnic group that is an ethnic minority within our own borders. So it's very much like a Kurdish situation where kind of like we're like Iraq and they're Turkey or something. I don't know. But it certainly resembles the Turkish situation. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, that was probably the most quote-unquote evil thing we've done so far. Obviously, we've done some proposals for the Constitution, which are a little bit radical, but in terms of actually agreeing to close the border so that that refugees can't cross the border, knowing that that leader's probably gonna begin operations against them and perhaps start a genocide. Pretty bad job for us from a goody two-shoes perspective. But we've got our economy and our country to look out for, and tariff-free oil is certainly hard to turn down. With that being said, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Suzerain. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, I'm out.